Hello, I'm Jo, and I'm the curate in the Desborough Benefice. At St Giles, we're in the middle of a sermon series on Sabbath, and throughout July we're thinking about 4 aspects of Sabbath, which are stop, rest, delight and worship. As part of the series, we've been learning that our model for Sabbath comes directly from God and creation, where the Bible tells us in Genesis 2 that on the 7th day God rested from his work. In the 10 Commandments, God then instructed his people to remember and observe the Sabbath and keep it holy. And then in the New Testament, we have the invitation of Jesus. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Or as the Message translation words it, are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I don't know about you, but that sounds like an invitation I want to accept. And yet so much, either within us or in the culture we live in, is resistant to Sabbath. We yearn for it, and yet we find it so difficult to actually do. I'm trying to turn off my phone for 24 hours every week, and the temptation to turn it on and just check if I'm missing anything is something sometimes too hard to resist. And so I'm learning that to Sabbath, to stop and rest, requires me to relinquish control and trust God. To trust God for my sense of identity rather than have it based on what I do, achieve, or in my service for him. To trust God for those I love and serve, that their well-being or even their salvation does not depend on me, but on Jesus. This was a lesson I learned out of necessity when I was involved in prison ministry. I'd have a conversation with a prisoner who was exploring faith or even had faith, and we might have an incredible conversation where I could see a light coming on for them. But then our time would be up, and they would be going back to their wing and their cell, and I wouldn't see them again, at least for a week, or maybe I'd never see them again. In the outside world, if they were part of my congregation, I could meet up with them and maybe text or email them regularly to encourage them. But in prison, I couldn't do any of those things. I'd watch them go and know that I had no control over anything they would face or encounter, and I'd just have to trust them to God. Sabbath reminds me of that feeling when I want to stay connected, to have some level of control. But actually, what God is asking of me is to let go and trust. I try to get up to a point with work that when Sabbath comes, I know I'm in a place where boxes are checked and tasks are completed. But sometimes things aren't as neat and tidy as that, and I have to trust God that I can stop anyway and rest in him, and other things can wait. Sabbath isn't just a luxury I indulge in when there's nothing else to do. It's a practice I observe, even when there's plenty of other things I could be doing. Maybe 24 hours is too big a step for you right now, but choose a day which fits with your rhythm. So for me, it's Friday. And think about what you need to do to properly stop. Like I said, I am trying to turn my phone off. And then hand everything over to God. Trust him with your cares, your identity, your ambitions, and rest. And then enjoy delighting in and worshipping God, and let him teach you the unforced rhythms of grace. Amen.